We are back with another episode of the Big Miller Basketball Show. I'm your host, Nick Winger, joined today with my buddy Blaine Miller. We have a fun little episode coming. Last week we hopped on, went through the March Madness bracket, picked a bracket together, and our bracket's actually doing pretty good. We're going to hop back on this week, and we're going to talk about the Sweet 16 Elite Eight and maybe do a second chance tournament bracket. Blaine, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, man, we had a good first round and into the Sweet 16. So not quite perfect, but pretty close.
Yeah, there were definitely some surprises throughout the bracket. Honestly, as to be expected. But all things considered, I mean, we're doing pretty good in our Big Miller events group. I think we're like third place or whatever. So it's pretty good seeing the show at the top. Not really sure what happens if we win, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's just dive right in to this and let's see what we think about things.
Yeah.
So we'll recap some of the games, maybe talk about some of the surprising ones. I know we hit the nail right on the head pretty perfectly on this TCU Ohio State game, probably as well as some other ones, but the recap or the preview or whatever of, I'm trying to get that to go off the screen. There we go. Was pretty good. Were there any surprises really in these little few games right here?
I don't think so. I think, Siena keeping it that close with Duke, that was a really good game. Kind of expecting that one probably be, I don't know what the spread was, expecting that to be a blowout, and then it ended up being, a lot closer than expected. But not too many surprises as far as that goes for that first round there.
Yeah, that little section right there was pretty straightforward. Siena made a good little run. I think their coach has already been poached, so it'll be interesting to see how he does at his next stop. This next little pool of games, I know we kind of picked South Florida. We messed up there, but it didn't hurt us in the long run because we just had them missing one game, I guess. But Kansas, California Baptist, that was a close game. But yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward here. This was a toss-up, UCLA, UCF. But I mean, pretty straightforward there. On the other side over here, I think we did pretty good. This Wisconsin High Point, and I think you said High Point would give them a run for their money.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth on that pick. I mean, wanted to pick High Point, but knowing Wisconsin was a good team and they looked good in their conference championship or conference tournament. But yeah, then High Point and that guy hitting the threes, man, he turned it on, and it was scary to watch him go against the Hogs because if you felt like if he could have had the same performance, they may have been able to beat him because that point guard for High Point was crazy.
Yeah, the point guard actually. So this Big Miller Basketball Show, it's three people that kind of run the show. Chris, Nigel, and I. And Nigel, he coached an AAU team for years, and the point guard for High Point actually played for his team for a little while. So it was pretty cool for him to see one of his former players do so well. Yeah. This St. John's, Kansas game, I guess I kind of looked over, but that was a great game. I guess that was Saturday. Maybe it was Sunday. I think. I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, Sunday night, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was good games all throughout. This Arizona-Utah State game, Utah State kind of made a good little run at the end, but it never really felt like much of a game. The High Point Arkansas game was great. I guess we'll slide on down to this little side over here. BYU and Texas, we messed up there. The Banza did all he could.
Yeah.
No. It'll be interesting to see. Texas keeps getting it done. If they can, I guess it's kind of weird seeing Texas as the Cinderella of the tournament, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked a little bit about having, one of those play-in teams being able to make a run, and didn't think it'd be Texas making it, but they did. They played in and got to BYU, beat them, and moved on, and they really put it on Gonzaga for most of that game, especially that second half. But yeah, they look good right now. They'll be a tough one for Purdue.
Yeah, and Purdue's playing well. I guess we missed this Miami-Missouri game. I guess looking at it back in hindsight, we should have known better with Missouri being so up and down. Yeah. But I kind of thought, being in St. Louis, it would help them. And I think it was a decent game for a little while, but yeah, Missouri just kind of pitched the tent, to say the least. This side over here seems to be pretty expected. Georgia, that was a pretty bad pick. I kind of expected Georgia to do a little bit better than they did. I think a lot of people did, but yeah, Clemson, Iowa, that went about the way we thought it would. Yeah, I mean these little three this was our worst little stretch of a bracket, I guess you could say. But I mean, it makes for a fun tournament. What are your thoughts here? The Florida and Vandy, that whole little area.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, Nebraska had never won before in March Madness, and so now they get the win. We figured they'd get that win against Troy. They dominated, though. I didn't think they'd win by that much. And then to go on, I kind of figured Vandy may beat them. But, man, that was a really good game. That shot by Vanderbilt right at the end, I don't know if you get to see that one, but
yeah,
it went – I mean, a shot can't get any closer to going in than that one.
So a lot of people on my Twitter have been talking about the air pressure of the balls, and they keep saying, if the ball maybe had a little less air, could have had a different outcome. But it would be interesting to see. I mean, if that ball had a little less air, they'd probably beat Iowa, and they'd be against one of these teams down here in the Elite Eight. I mean, that's a tough way to go out, especially for a player that is so good.
Mm-hmm.
This Alabama-Texas Tech game, Alabama kind of blocked out the noise, and they put it on them.
Yeah, Alabama, I mean, a lot of stuff going on with their team, and player-wise, it's just what's going to happen legally there. But now you kind of focus on Michigan. They play them, and that's going to be a tough game. I think Michigan will win. We have them. We had that game picked, and we have Michigan winning, or Alabama winning, but in that one. But that's going to be a tough one. So we'll have to look at that one as we do our next bracket. Are we going to keep going with Alabama over Michigan?
Yeah, I think whenever we did our show, we kind of just assumed that Alabama's Aiden Holloway would play, given Alabama's usual circumstances. But looking back on it now knowing more information about the situation, maybe he's not going to play. Maybe this wasn't the best pick. I don't know. I guess we kind of missed both of these, really, because we have Alabama here, and then we have Virginia here. Virginia took it on the chin against Tennessee.
Yeah,
that was a good game as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, other than that, I mean, Kentucky game, the Santa Clara game was great. They should have lost here. We picked Kentucky, but that was one that we kind of went back and forth on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess for our bracket's sake, it was good, but it'd been nice to see Santa Clara at least advance. Maybe it had a better game here. Kentucky definitely felt pretty early on. We picked the upset, the 10-7 upset on this side, but everything else seemed to be pretty chalky, straightforward. I guess we picked this 11-6 game here. Made up for some bad picks on the other side. But I don't know. It was cool to see VCU knock off a blue blood like that, but without Caleb Wilson, kind of went the way we thought it would.
Yeah. What for this first weekend, what was the best game you think overall? First weekend of March Madness.
I guess let's do this. Let's go round by round. So let's go round of 64. One of the best games I thought was probably the Wisconsin and High Point game. Yeah, probably so. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say that one or that Kentucky Santa Clara, just Santa Clara hitting that shot with 2 seconds to go. Kentucky coming down hitting it. And then in overtime, it wasn't. Kentucky got that steal with about 50 seconds left or so, and you kind of sealed the deal at that point. But gosh, that was such a good game as well. There's a lot of good ones.
Probably one of the better ones. We really kicked off the tournament with a banger. Really, this Ohio State TCU game was a good little funny little ending, but in terms of a game though, it didn't really feel like that good of a game. Duke Siena, it wasn't a bad game honestly for a 1-16, but in the second round, St. John's Kansas probably it was super low scoring though. Honestly, I'm more for fireworks. The Iowa Florida game.
You can't go that Iowa Florida too on that second round just because of what it meant for Iowa to knock out the 1 seed, defending national champions as well.
Vanderbilt, Nebraska. I mean, there were some really good games. Honestly, this Tennessee-Virginia game was pretty good. The score's a little misleading. They had a controversial call there at the end that kind of took the thing. But Arkansas High Point, that was a fun game. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the joy of the tournament is that the further into the tournament you get, the better teams across the board you get. So hopefully, the better games you get. I guess we can talk more about that whenever we switch over to to pick these. Is there anything else you want to touch on for this lower half? Actually, I have something I want to touch on. Who was? I mean, obviously, as Arkansas fans, we're going to say Darius Acuff, but as a player, not saying Darius Acuff. Who's a player that kind of stood out for you? that maybe like made a name for themselves in March Madness. There's so many of those historically that tend to do so. Who's a player that maybe helped make a name for themselves?
Yeah,
And
I mean, I want to say Darius Acuff, but I know we don't want to stick on the Hawks too much, but the way some of those Hawks played, Malik Thomas, he played really good. I guess it was in that first round, and then Ewan really had a good tournament so far as well. So I know, I'm not saying that they are making a name for themselves as far as pushing themselves up any draft boards or anything like that, but just from a Razorback perspective, I really like the way those two guys are playing and showing up in March so far.
yeah, the Hogs definitely are looking good right now. This one will be fun to talk about here in a second. Let's slide over and do one of these. I haven't made one yet, so I guess we'll just create a bracket and jump right into it. Yeah, it
Yep.
seems to be pretty easy. Duke St. John's, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, that's one of those fun ones. That's going to be a fun game. Looking here, it's the spread on that's for 6.5 for Duke. But I mean, St. John's is no slouch, and Duke has been tested. I mean, they were tested that first round against Siena, so that's gonna be interesting. I know we have Duke winning it all in our bracket and everything, and I think Duke is gonna win, but it'd be something to see St. John's pull that off.
Yeah, Duke's point guard's out, or he was out. I don't know if he's back or not yet. That's what I was trying to look. Yeah, Caleb Foster
Mm-hmm.
broke his foot, expected to be out for some period of time. It sounded like there's a chance that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Coach K on the Pat McAfee show said something kind of alluding to that. It's possible, but without him, I don't have a problem picking St. John's here. Just to kind of you want to do it just so it's not as chalky.
I do think they can get the win.
Michigan State and UConn. I kind of like Michigan State here. What do you think?
Yeah, I had Michigan State picked in my personal bracket. UConn has been playing really, really good, but I just think Michigan State. I mean, look at those four coaches right there. I mean, that is some of the best coaches ever, or historically. Just looking at like some of these coaches here and matchup wise, Duke and St. John's, Michigan State, UConn. Those are some great teams, and so, but yeah, Michigan State has been playing really high level as well. So I think I do like Michigan State. I just want to kind of pick them. I just feel like they're going to win it. They're only favored by 1.5 points, so it's a close game. But
I think what UConn's really they have great bigs, and Michigan State does too. So I think Michigan State can combat their bigs a little bit. I don't have a problem picking that. Do you want to go ahead and pick this game? Or you want to come back to it?
I think we can choose that one, and then I think Michigan State. I think we agree.
Yeah, I like Michigan State there. You want to slide over to those West region? Arkansas and Arizona. You want to touch on it first, or do you want to?
Well, I wanted to see who you're going to pick on this one. Are we going to go?
I think Arizona's going to win. I really do. I do think whoever wins this pod, this game will make it to the Final Four. Whoever wins this will be Purdue, I think, here. But and I like Arizona here. It's tough. Maybe it's one of those situations. Me and you have always done this. If you pick one team in your bracket and the Hogs win, you're still happy. Arkansas just has it kind of up against them. They're going to have a tough time rebounding.
It'll be for me watching the Hogs. It's like every team. I don't care if it's High Point. It doesn't matter who it is. Every single team is scoring 85, 90 points on the Hogs, and so can they somehow score? And they've been scoring 90 plus themselves every game recently. It seems like the Razorbacks, and so. But can you expect? Is it okay to expect Acuff to have to go out and score 36 points again, 35 points again against the number 1 seed Arizona? Should that be what we rely on, and then just hope everybody else plays, good enough? I don't know if that's going to get it done. I mean, as special as Acuff is, you've got a really good team in Arizona that's going to play really good defense, and so it's going to be really tough.
As a bet, if I was to bet on something in this game, I don't mind the over here.
Yeah,
I mean, for Arkansas to have a chance, that's going to have to go over for them to win. I
Yeah, if
don't know.
Arkansas scores any less than 90, I don't see them winning the game. They got to score 90 plus.
Yeah, I agree. Texas and Purdue. Are we calling it over for the Cinderella?
Yeah, I think so. I think Purdue's just a really good team. They're especially now settled into the tournament. It feels like you get past that first weekend. Now you have a week to prepare, and yeah, I think Purdue
this
for sure.
game is played in Chicago. I wonder if it says it on here. I don't think it does. I mean, it's going to be close for these guys to get from the Purdue fans to get over there. I think it's going to be a heavy Purdue crowd. Texas will probably travel well, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with the 1-2 here and be mad at the chalk. But are we going to go Arizona?
Yeah, I think Arizona and Purdue there in that matchup.
And then are you taking Arizona over Purdue?
I think so. I think whoever wins that Arizona Arkansas game is going to make it to the championship game. I really do believe that. So I'm going to go Arizona.
Move on down, Nebraska and Iowa. I'm sure these two teams have played this season a few times. I wish I should have looked. I guess I might say it here. What are we looking at? Nebraska lost. They split, so it doesn't help you much there. So it's going to be a tough one here. I like Iowa. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking at when Iowa won, they beat them 57-52 in a low-scoring game. But then when it got to be a high-scoring game, it went to Nebraska. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Is I guess maybe if that's the trend of what kind of score this game has, if it's low-scoring or high-scoring. But I think Iowa's been playing really good. But I mean, Nebraska had never winning before. Can they continue that streak and get all the way into the Elite Eight?
I don't think it really matters.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, it would be good for us to have perfect picks through here on out, but I don't think it really matters that much because they're running into a buzzsaw with whoever wins the next game.
Yeah,
do we want to go to Nebraska here, Houston, or Iowa, Nebraska? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Iowa. I think I agree. Iowa can. I was going to pull that one off.
Houston and Illinois. This is going to be a great game. This is probably the game
might be the best game
forward to.
Yeah.
It's wide open. I mean, they match up super well together.
Mm-hmm.
They've played similar teams this year. I was curious if they played in the non-conference, but I guess not. Yeah, I don't know. Probably Houston.
Yeah, that's what I think. I like Houston. I think Houston, if they win this one, and especially if Duke gets knocked out, and we're looking at St. John's, Michigan State, playing to see who gets to the Final Four, and we got Houston picked here, and Houston to beat Iowa, then you're really looking at a St. John's, Michigan State versus Houston, and I think Houston's going to win that one. They're going to find themselves in the championship as well, so that's going to be an interesting one for Houston if they can get past Illinois. They got a pretty clear path, it looks like.
Yeah, have these two teams played this year, I wonder? No, they have not. I don't know. It'll be in Indianapolis, so Michigan State's right down the street from there. They'll have a good crowd. Not sure how much it would really matter that much. I like the Cougars. I agree with you there.
Yeah, it's this little stat there. It's two seeds are 38 and 24. And since 2022, two seeds have won four of 6 meetings with 3 seeds. So you just kind of look at trend. It seems like the Houston will advance there.
Well, what's the trend for a 1 seed playing a 4 seed with one of their best players in prison? What's the stat there?
I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think I know that it's going to be Michigan moving on.
Yeah.
Just don't see Alabama being able to overcome that again.
If they can hit shots like they did against Texas Tech, they have a chance.
Yeah. They just have to be.
But that's going to be tough, man.
Lights out shooting is going to be crazy. That'd be tough to do again. And Michigan's a really good team. Michigan is a really good basketball team.
Tennessee and Iowa State. I think I'm going to go Iowa State here.
Yeah, I agree. Tennessee, I mean, being good and getting here as a 6 seed, that's great. But I just don't see him being able to pull off. I mean, 2 seeds since 1993, 23-3 against 6 seeds at this point. So it just seems like, is Tennessee going to be the one of those be team number 4 to win? I don't think so.
I mean, Tennessee really. I mean, they could have lost here against Virginia. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, they're skating
Yeah.
on thin ice. It seems like Iowa
Yeah.
State's been playing really well. Granted, they
Mm-hmm.
haven't quite had as tough of a draw, I don't think. But I mean, I'm going Iowa State here.
Yep. I agree.
I'm looking at this bracket, and let's say Purdue does win, which they very very well could win here, right? One of these two, well, really one of these three, it wouldn't surprise me if one of these three came out of this. It could very easily be an all Big Ten in Indianapolis for the state for the national championship.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it just kind of shows like certain conferences, whether it be how many teams you get in or whatever, but certain conferences have just seemed to be powerhouses lately, and the Big Ten is making themselves a powerhouse. You look at college football, you look at looks like college basketball right now is trending their way, and they're
It's
becoming maybe the
interesting.
best conference.
It's interesting to see, when NIL becomes legal, then the powers seem to shift. And I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
allude to anything. We've had this conversation plenty of times, off camera and whatnot. But it's very telling of a trend that no one really wants to acknowledge just yet.
Yep. Yeah.
Are we leaning Michigan here? Personally, I am.
Yes, I think Michigan for sure. Yeah,
we got Michigan and Arizona. It's a toss-up here, really. Let's see. How did Michigan do their last couple of games? I mean, they've been playing really, really, really good ball. You know what? I mean, I know you like Arizona. I don't have a problem with Michigan here.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's a really good team too. I do think they can beat Arizona. I'm cool with picking Michigan there, getting them in. And so the interesting thing would be, what if it's Michigan State in-state rivalry in that championship game?
Should we pick that just for the vibes?
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun one. I do think Houston will, if they get to that point. You got to think if Houston does make it to the championship game, no way do they lose again, right? They got to get one eventually.
Yeah.
And no better path for them, especially if Duke's out and they get Iowa, Nebraska winner to move on.
Houston
to get past Illinois.
Houston is putting on. It does seem like if they can get past Illinois here, they're probably. I mean, they're in.
They're in the national championship almost. It seems like. I mean, because you got to think so. But I like Michigan State. Michigan. That's a fun one. If we just pick it that way, that'd be a fun one to look at here.
Let's just leave it the way it is. So we both agree Houston will probably win, and then we can come back to it if we do. But that is something fun to think about. I mean, imagine you're playing your biggest rival for the national championship. That is so cool.
Yeah.
If it would happen. If this was the championship, Houston and Michigan, are we leaning Houston?
Yeah, I think so. I think they finally get it. I mean, geez, I mean, it's such a good. That'd be such a good game. Houston has been playing really good.
Michigan's playing really well too. Do we think Houston can score enough with Michigan? I mean, Michigan's scoring it seems like 100 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Michigan's been really good, and they played really good in their conference tournament, and they looked really good there.
I mean, if you look at the teams that Houston's beaten, right? When they win their against good opponents, it seems to be low scoring wins.
Yep. Yeah, Houston's opponent averages 62 points a game, but Michigan is averaging 87 points a game. So if they do face off, it's going to be another kind of one of those games where it's what's the score? Is Michigan able to score, 70, 75? Well, that may be enough to do it. Another thing to note is Houston is against the top 25 teams. Houston's 5-6, and Michigan is 9-2. So there's a little bit of
Dude, I'm leaning Michigan. You're talking me into Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, for looking at it here, Houston to have a losing record against that top 25 versus the top 25 is interesting. Even though they are 2 seed and they're playing some good ball right now, I still think if they beat Illinois, they've got a clear path to that championship game, and I do think they'll make it if Duke is out especially. But even if not, I think they can beat them. But then getting into national championship, and whether it's against Michigan or Arizona, I think they're going to have their hands full with either one. Arizona's already beat Houston twice this year, and I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but I think they could do it again easily. I think they could easily beat Houston, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm going to lock in Michigan. Unless do you want to go Houston or Michigan here? Michigan's cool.
No, I like Michigan. I think Michigan's a good pick.
Let's submit it, and then we'll have it. We can keep an eye on it for our things. Let's take a look real fast. I guess Chris is the one that has the emails and stuff to see who the people are. Let's look at the group and just take a look and see how some of the best brackets are doing in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like our buddy Drew here, he's in second place, but he's not going to win, having his champion already out.
Yeah, that's the tough part there is you miss your champion.
This bracket right here is a PA parent, I believe. Not sure who these other ones are, but look at this guy here. He's got 2 brackets, both in the top 5. Things will get more interesting. Here's Kevin. It'll be more interesting as teams start to lose. Eli Schwartzman is Farmington's point guard.
Mm-hmm.
There's yours, 25th. It like I said, yeah, it'll be fun. The further along this goes, and it seems like a lot of brackets are close by, like close together, so it could really go anyone's way. A lot of people have the same champions. If Houston wins, Chris's bracket right here will be the one to win. It looks like, but
yeah. So where are you at in this? Are you?
I'm 11.
11. So 16 says you have a max score of 1610 left. I'm down at the bottom. I'm 25. I got a max score of 1630. So some crazy stuff have to happen for me to be able to pull off the win, but
it doesn't look too good for me to win. But our bracket, probably not for us either. But I don't know. It'll be fun to see. Yeah. This guy right here is looking like he has one of the best brackets total, ranked 5,000th in the world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's impressive. That is impressive there.
Let's see where his misses came. So he picked here. He missed this one. So there's 1 miss. He picked Missouri. There's 2 misses. Picked Georgia. There's 3. 4 over here. He really picked a lot of the higher seeds, and it just happened to work out that way.
Yep.
Isn't it tough when you look at these brackets, after the fact, and you're just like, dang,
yeah. So the interesting, when you look at the number 1 brackets in the world right now, and the 2 brackets, one of them has Michigan winning it all as their number 1 leading the world, but then the other person, the number 1 in the world, has Arkansas winning it all.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something?
Can Arkansas pull it off? This guy's only got.
It was like they missed 2 games in the round of 62, or round of 60. Yeah, the 32 game. He missed 2 games.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah, very impressive. He had picked Nebraska to go all the way. He even picked Iowa over Florida there in that matchup. So he did have the Iowa Nebraska.
What were his 2 misses?
Matchup there.
I'm trying to where he lost.
Look through and see.
He picked Gonzaga over Texas. There's 1 miss.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the other one.
Maybe it's just 1. He only missed 1 game.
Yeah, it does look like it. I can't find. I cannot find another miss. So
that's crazy.
He's got 1 game wrong, and he's got Arkansas picked to win it all. So I don't know if that's. It'd be pretty impressive, man.
I wish we could find this guy and figure out where he's from. If he's a Razorback fan or if he's just.
Yeah, Channing's a smart bracket. I don't know.
He's pretty smart. I'll give it to him, man. I'll give it to Channing.
Very impressive, though. Very impressive to have that 620 points, missing 1 game, and then the other guy win. He's getting Michigan picked to win it all. So you got to think maybe one of those 2 is going to be correct.
All right, Blaine, I appreciate you for hopping on and talking a little ball with me.
Yep.
I guess we'll have to hop on here again next week and preview the Final Four. And then Actually, yeah, we'll have to preview the Final Four, and then I guess after that we can start doing NFL coverage of things.
Yep. Yeah, be good.
I appreciate you for hopping on. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
All right.